Hey all, Kurt Sasso here from TGT at Fan Expo Canada 2010. We're here at the Red Panda booth with none other than Gregg. How are you doing today, Gregg?
I'm very well, Kurt. Thanks very much.
You know, you have a wonderful product here in the Red Panda, and it's an audio tale of detectiveness, is it not?
It is. We do with Decoder Ring Theater, which I'm just going to decoderringtheater.com. There it is. We do all new audio drama, adventure and mystery shows in the style of the golden age of radio. So there's the Masked Mystery Man adventure, which is the Red Panda Adventures, and Blackjack Justice, which is our hard-boiled detective series. And been at it for about 5 years now, which makes us, old men in the podcasting world, as you know, and splintered off into some other nice. So once the market is there, you can try and do things with pulp that you couldn't necessarily in approaching a traditional publisher. So we branched out into the books with the same conceit that this was a pulp series that ran for years in the 30s and 40s, of which these are individual issues. And once you have that audience in a direct market to them and a way to reach them, then something that is niche still goes on and lives its life, which is a lot of fun. We're debuting the third book in the series here at Fan Expo. But also, as we've been saying to people all weekend, not unlike your neighborhood crack dealer, the first taste is free, except for us, the first taste is about 120 episodes at this point. You just go to decoderringtheater.com, and if they're listening to your podcast, they already have all the technology they need to enjoy these shows for free.
Wonderful. That's great to hear. In 5 years, and you're right, you're considered old men in the podcast industry there, but what can you do about that,
You wear it as a badge of honor, really. There are a number of folks who've done great things in podcast fiction that have recently kind of hung up their chaps a little bit. And J.C. Hutchins and the Variant Frequencies podcast and they're good friends of ours. And it's sad to see at the same time, you understand. We're very lucky because we've always been listener supported. Very early I had the PayPal donation buttons on, and for the first number of years, all the expenses of creating the shows and the equipment and the website maintenance were all paid for by the listeners. And then we've recently expanded into monthly donors. People are giving us $5 or $10 or $3 a month to keep the shows going. Because after a few years, you're like, well, the cast members have been coming up for this long, and it'd be good to be able to, pay them now. And Daddy's been working 2 full-time jobs for 5 years, and it'd be nice if this could be a part-time and work for the man a little bit, and then I could make more stuff for you guys. And people seem to respond to that, so that's been running really nicely. We've found that about 12% of our listeners will end up supporting us financially at some point, so it's all about getting more listeners now. And that's been great to find the way that will allow us to keep doing this, because it's such a joy to do and to connect with people all over the world and tell them these stories about a Toronto that never really existed in the 30s, and it's great stuff.
Well, you have the passion, and that's the one thing that you don't really see these days is passion in the product, and you're really putting forth the effort to not only promote yourself here at an amazing convention like Fan Expo, but you're doing a great job on it, and I just love the cover art. I love everything that you're doing with it, and I really want to hear the whole 120 episodes, but what's the website to go to for that?
It's www.decoderringtheater.com. Doesn't matter if you spell theater the American way or the Canadian way. They'll all point you in the same direction. And you can subscribe on iTunes or pick up the feed, or there's a new episode on the 1st and 15th of every month, year-round. So just pop by and download and enjoy.
Well, I have to ask this question. Fan Expo is a huge convention, full of energy, full of life, a lot of people walking by, but eventually it's going to close down. You're going to have to pack up shop and head back home. What are you personally going to take away experience-wise from this show?
There's been fantastic energy of just people coming up. We've given away about 1,000 promotional postcards at this point, and the weekend's half over. So hopefully pick up some new listeners that way. But even just having the listeners who are able to stop by and that energy for, 1 second you're a guy standing at a booth passing out your flyers for what you do, and the next minute somebody's there to whom this show is awesome and big and a thing that they love, and will you sign my books? I'm like, yes, I certainly will. That's wonderful. It's just new energy and new drive to keep doing something that, you wanted to do anyway.
Well, hey, I want to thank you so much, Gregg. We're going to get on to one of your lead actors here of your famous Hardboiled Detective series. I just want to thank you again for this interview. It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you very much.